graffiti, they couldn't quite erase the blank-faced stares on the subway as people go home. The parks lay empty like my unmade bed. The streets are silent like my lifeless telephone. And this is where I live, but I've never felt less at home. So I'm not unsympathetic. I see why you left. There's no one to know. There's nothing to do. The city's been dead since you've been gone. Sometimes I stand on my roof at night and watch as something seems to happen somewhere else. I feel like the breeze can pick me up and carry me away. Out and over the iridescent grid, well, up and away from the bar fights and neon lights, and out and away from everything that makes me what I am. So I'm not unsympathetic. I see why you left. There's no one to know. There's nothing to do. The city's been dead since you've been gone.
Hey everybody. I can already tell music's way too loud. Adjust. That should be better. I have zero plans for tonight. I'm just hanging out, and I'm probably going to create a list for myself. Try to figure out some talent up stuff. Hello, Godfather. How you doing, brother? So, probably just going to go dive through the roster. And let's see if we can make some relatively informed decisions. Informed decisions about who to bring up. Especially since I ain't got no monies. No monies. So I gotta... I have a feeling it's gonna be one of them creative ones. Any and all suggestions from the chat is absolutely welcomed. And encouraged. And if at any time... Hey, it's Spider Guard. What's up, Spider Guard? Appreciate the bits, man. I gotta say, you really know how to... You know how to enter a stream with a little bit of je ne sais quoi, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Let's take a look at the gender. Let's see if I've got. It's not the shards that I'm worried about, it's the monies. It's the coinage. I might not have the coinage for it. Since this is an unplanned chill stream, I'll probably put this as a pinned chat. If for any reason you guys want to see something, you want me to break something down, you got questions for me, you just want to see me run some weird little cards, throw it in the chat and we'll stop what we're doing and readjust, because I got nothing but time. How am I so low on coin? Resource mismanagement. I'm just constantly doing stuff and it hurts me. Yeah, I agree, Godfather. This week's going to be interesting for me too. Tech Charlotte gameplay. You'll get it this Friday in the daily claims. All right, let's do it. Turn this down just a little bit more. There we go. There we go. I think that's better. All right, let's check out the roster real quick, and then we'll get to some Tech Charlotte. Let me write this down so I don't forget. All right. So I'm going to get some easy points by finally recruiting Lyra here, and that's going to help. Oh, you got Showboat seen off the prize wall? Nice, dude. I'm like 2k shards away. I'm jealous. All right, so these are all set. Eventually, some of these guys need to have coin dumped in them to bring them up to max. Like, I'd like to get Gunther up to max. I've been using a lot of Julius. I think I might like to get him up to max. Jacob, for right now, probably needs to get up to max. Mercy, Vader, Abby all need to get up to max. Probably Indy, but I ain't got the coin for that right now. At some point in time, I'm gonna have to work on Hall of Fame Macho. Just because it's Macho Man. No reason other than that. Gotta work on him. Stunning Steve here. I think he's probably my #1 priority. And of course, I don't have the hats for him. Alright, so what are those, the emerald tokens that I needed? The hats? Hey, Cajun, what's going on, bud? Godfather Julius is one of those guys that's really grown on me. I know he's been in the game for about a year. But once I got a trap purple rumble plate, once Trick Stacy not 6-star gold yet. You know what? That's a good point. Why isn't she gold yet? Don't be embarrassed, Cajun. It's all good. It's all good, man. Yeah, exactly, Godfather. I've been preaching to everybody that I know that they got to pull him up to 35k, and I haven't even done it myself. But I'm going to use him everywhere. I know it. Did it not say you went live tonight? I don't know. Did it say I went live tonight? The YouTube did. Yeah, the Twitch did too. Oh, no, it didn't. It didn't tell anybody. The message went out yesterday at 1. when I was testing, but it updated just a couple minutes ago when I went live. So it didn't re-push the notification, which is interesting. Huh. Okay. All right. So let's go back here. Yeah, well, Sapphire's being naughty. Oh, Southside. Cajun Runner here is an officer at Cream of the Crop, and he's the one who handles all of our Discord stuff. So he was asking if going live pushed a notification to our Discord server. He feels, for some reason, he feels it's important to let everybody know when I'm going live. So I appreciate him very much. Let's see here. Gable and Bradshaw. I got to be honest, I'm not. I think Bradshaw's stuck where he's at. I'm not a huge fan. Neither with Gable. Sherry's good. Sherry's good where she's at. My ladies strikers are so stacked that I don't like. I'm fine with Sonya and Zombie Bailey and Roxy and Naomi. Like I don't need to waste any more resources on Sherry. Shudda, that's important for Cajun to know. For sure. Hopefully he comes back and he checks that out. I don't want to talk about I don't want to talk about what I went through with Sherry. I still don't have a Leo. Um the Sapphire notification didn't hit until an hour after my live was over yesterday on Twitch. Yeah, exactly, Cajun. So Striker Batista, uh, he's falling into my Ali trap of I want to bring him gold. I rarely use him, and I'll always find another striker that I need um, to build up before him, right? So, like, if you had to, I am pretty deep into the golds. You're right. Um, so, Ethan, if it's a question of like, do I bring up Batista because I sometimes use him and I want him gold, or do I bring up Stunning Steve Austin and use him in every event on half of the cards on my roster that automatically makes Stunning Steve more important to go up? Yeah, I got his gear. So as far as notifications, both Footers and Stanley, um, Footers for I think it's your Discord. It looked like you guys only have set up to ping when anything on YouTube shows up. And I'm broadcasting simultaneously on YouTube and Twitch right now, so that's why that kicked out. And then Stanley, you're not going to see the Twitch chat in YouTube, but you should be able to see Twitch chat on the screen, which is why I put the chat box on the screen. I need it to not disappear so fast, though. I wonder how I fixed that. I just noticed that disappears quick. Right. Twitch doesn't, but on screen, the chat box that I have on screen, it should show both. Should. Yeah. Should be for you too, guys. So over here on the left hand side, you can't see what I'm doing there. Um, over here. If somebody at YouTube says something, it should pop up. Yeah, if somebody over at YouTube says something, it should pop up there. Yeah, see, there's Shredder. He's on YouTube, and he's popping up on the main screen. Yeah, Shredder's on YouTube right now. Yeah. Yeah, they just quiet. I don't even know. I can't see who all's in where. I can just see chat, so I have to just assume I have an audience and go. Yeah, there you go, Stanley. Okay. There's probably a way to separate both chats and have everybody be able to see it very clearly. I'll get there one day. Mm-mm. I'm using Streamlabs right now. Well, I'm using OBS and I'm using the Streamlabs plugin, so it bounces everything through Streamlabs to OBS. And the reason I can't see, hey, what's up, John? How you doing, bud? The reason I can't see them is the way OBS is built. I can either see who all's in Twitch or I can see who all's in YouTube, but I can't see who all's in both. Plus, there's some people who show up, they hang out, they don't say anything in chat. I don't want to blow up their spot. Hey, what's up, Kurgan? How you doing, bud? Yeah, so Kurgan, I'm not sure if I would have keep doing this, but I was setting up my Streamlabs and I was like, well, this gives me the option to dual stream. YouTube is where the focus of like what I consider my core content. So my core audience should be on YouTube. Why not try to stream there too? Numbers gang. What's up, Reds fan? Got lazy on building your moment spreadsheet? Dude, I feel you. I can't tell you how many spreadsheets I've got that I started that I haven't gotten anywhere with. This is what it is. All right. Let's get back here. Hold on. So there's questions from Ethan that I haven't gotten to yet. What do I need for Striker Batista? I just need the hats, but I'd rather take up Stunning Steve because I get more value out of him. And then how much damage does Stunning Steve do? Not enough. He is definitely not a really good fighter. He's a break in case of emergency kind of guy. This moveset works, and then you can also kind of mess around with this jug multi finisher, I think, something along these lines. It's not turn one, but it does increase gem damage every time it pops off. Then it increases your black MP, which recycles you back into it. So not terrible. What's up, Arg? So, Kurgan, poster images are how are you grabbing? Yeah, absolutely, Godfather. Coaching ability is elite. Um, okay. So there's that. And then from there, I don't think. Oh, it's Greg Numbers. All right. What up, Greg Numbers? Yeah, he is very similar to Afa. He runs in that same way Afa does. There's Zombie Lashley or IOW Kurt Angle. Screenshot the poster from phone on Portal and send to my PC. Yep, that's exactly how I do it, Kurgan. Absolutely. All right, this is bothering me. I gotta fix this real quick. Hang tight. Hold, please. Um, Okay. All right. All right, so theoretically now when we chat, it's going to stay on screen for 3 minutes instead of 15 seconds. That should be a lot better. Okay. Sorry about that. It's bothering me. Um, so Stunning Steve has to go up. I don't think I'm going to bring Tiffy any further than this. I only have one of her moments. I don't have any of her gears. I don't have the gender plate to make her any better than what she is. I don't. I think she stays exactly where she's at. And I might have brought her up a little bit too far. Same with Thrasher and Lions. Same as that Zombie Lash. Yeah, Heartstopper helps. This is a stolen belt. That's why the LA Knight plate's on there. 17 techs at 6-star gold. Good grief. I got you, Envy. I got you. Um, yeah, I'll get there. He's got a fuse. That's right there. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're gonna fix old Truth up. Flash fuse. We'll fix him. Don't worry. I have 150% move and gym belt for Rick Steiner with Chic plate. Which one would be better? Probably Jim. How does Trickster Truth work? She's way better with the gender plate in purple. Absolutely, Greg Numbers. I couldn't agree more. But since I don't have the gender plate and I don't have any gears or any of that stuff, there's nothing to do. Godfather Thrasher, the only reason he's at 6-star silver on my roster is because probably a year and a half ago, I decided to build him because it was funny, to see if there's anything I could do to make him decent. And I found him at his triple blue, with this plate right here. Actually isn't half bad. Isn't half bad at all. And you put the Heartstopper on him. And at 6-star silver, he was doing about 35 to 40. But it is so cascade prone and just, it's not the most. He's like Timu Donatello is what he is. All right, Ethan, how does Trickster Truth work? Let's do this. I'll show off Trick Truth. He's got two different. He's got two different move sets, in my opinion. One of them is super fun, and the other one you need a trip heat combo. And his gear. Kirby, what's your total roster size, man? Those are big numbers. Did I just click on Rosie? I did. 13-4. Whew. That's up there with big boy status. Big boy status. So this is the gym damage setup. There's a couple of different ways you can look at this. You can also set him up move damage with triple red. What's up, Fritz? How you doing, bud? So where's his other strap? It was probably this one that I was using. I'm not going to get that far into the woods with it. So what you do is you set up with either. Do I have enough to do it this way? No. Okay, I'll do it this way. I'm going to set him up with takedown 3s with the gem damage trap. You would pick one or the other, either Furies or Furies with a gem damage strap, or takedown with a move damage strap. Sorry, I got confused. Got to the point where you try to take whoever up because you can't get anyone new. I've been in that spot. It's not a fun spot to be at. All right, Ethan, if you're out there, so the problem is this move needs 8 to get loaded. So it's 4 red from anywhere, and then 2 red from anywhere. I'm working with red move damage because his finisher is pretty gnarly. And then you absolutely have to have Trick Hogan, and then you have to have Santa. By the way, this is a Jams build. Anybody who knows James the One, this is a Jams build, totally. I just swapped out Hogan for whoever he was running because it's a little bit safer. The gears don't actually help this moveset whatsoever, but the moment does trap gems to 150% more damage. And then this is the Barber's Blades. Every time you make, I think it's 6 traps, increase your black gem damage by 75%. So the idea is that his trap gems, if you break them, they will do 1.4 million damage. That's chonky, right? So you go in and you try to put down as many traps as possible. Hang on, Ethan. We're going to look at both of them. You're going to make it. You decide which one you like, and that's the one you can roll with. Here's 2 of them. All right. So you're going to drop traps. Yeah, every single one of these. So this is 1 4 1 4 1 4 1 4, etc., etc. And then this is where it gets a little cascadey. But no cascade. Now I can throw traps again. So this procs the Barber's Plate twice. You're getting 150% to all black gem damage, or all black gems. And now you have 14 traps at 1.4 million damage. So that's 20 million damage alone. And then you get this finisher, which is almost 7 million damage. And you're going to turn 7 of these into red, which will flood the board. Flood the board black. And then you can always put a rumble plate on it, but that's 35 million damage, and it's not exactly optimized right now. It's dope. I really like this moveset a lot. Do a bunch of different damage from a bunch of different sources. You got move damage, you got unblockable damage, you got gem damage. Moment backs it up. It's cool. And then the other thing you can do is his more traditional setup, which is column breaks, and I don't have mellow, so I can't quite run this the right way. So I end up relying on the lie detector a lot, which is a choose purple move. And anytime I need black MP, I usually use Molly here. And then purple gems do damage, and then column breaks do more damage. So something like this. Thanks, Kerrigan. I was about to run face first into that one. Yeah, Cajun. I can't pull mellow for nothing. Hey, Greg numbers. And then over here on the strap, Ethan, what you're going to do is you're going to look for gym damage with a Yeet Devil Drip combo. If you have the Yeet Devil Drip combo, this is the way to go. And I don't. It's on a different strap. I'm not going to swap it out. I've fallen for the trap trick against Zombie Sammy a bunch myself. Even in testing, I'm not even live. I'm just sitting, putzing around myself, and I'll get caught with it. And I'm like, man, I laugh at other people when they do it. It doesn't feel as good when I do it. But yeah, Ethan, you want to load up if you've got at least one gear and the other moment, and you got the JD drip and a yeet plate, Furies, gym damage. What you want to do is you want to come in. You can also use a JD drip and a Royal Rumble. It's just not nearly as good, in my opinion. But you do the trick where you make 2-3 matches over here. Shout out to Alex from Haven. I'm not sure who he is, but he commented this trick on one of my videos, and it's been a lifesaver. And then you column break wherever you want to. I like the top, but it doesn't really matter. And this would load down here with the JD drip plate. It'll load down here with multiplies. Everything gets a 500% boost. Then you do damage per column break, which is nice. And then you just essentially blow the board. Or have something like that happen. This is only 27 million in this setup with all of the toys and all of the gears and all of the moments. It will touch, I want to say 80, 85, maybe even more. It's a good setup. It's a good setup. Man, I wish I could get some new moments. Code. Although I haven't pulled once from the armory, I am all the way in love with these. I'm thinking about getting one for Legends era, even though I can't think of like a common combo for Legends era. I'm going to pull this off the month-long prize wall. I'm probably going... Oh, no. This is what I should do. Just grab a new gen one. Yeah, I haven't done a single armory pull. I'm just saving for this. I got this one a couple days ago. This is a trap. Don't do it. All right. Ethan, did I answer your questions, Bob? Or at least help you steer you in a way to make a decision? You know what else I lost? The ability to see when we're on an ad break. How do I fix that? Triple Red's moveset. There you go. So then, yeah, move damage strat. All right. So I'm going to add Hall of Fame Macho to the list. Had to grab one of the... Man, I put out a video about it earlier today. It's not necessarily about the combo. It's more about the flexibility those straps provide. They're huge, man. If they allowed me to get more than one modern era, I'd probably get more than one modern era. John. One day when we hit the big time, man, we'll do it. We'll figure out a way. Hall of Fame. What do I need for Hall of Fame Macho? Yeah, I might as well just bring him up. He's not defensive, is he? No. No, I got literally millions of shards here. If I just click the button. Oh no. I wipe out my Shotzzy shards. What am I going to do? Yeah, we'll bring him up. That's fine. I got enough purple TP. All right. It'll be no help to the Talent Up event, but it'll be at least an Acro Hall of Fame that's decent. I don't think I have an Acro Hall of Fame yet at 6-star gold. I don't. All right. Cool. It's going to solve that problem. Stunning Steve. That's where we left off. Yeah, I'm not working on Tiffy anymore. I think she's done. These two are done. Yeah, Kurgan, that really, it does kind of grind my gears. But the increase in talent will help. And it's not really going to be that much of a big hit. It'll be, what, 6,000 purple TP? I'll live. It'll be all right. It gives me a 6-star gold Acro Hall of Fame. This Brett is another one that's living in striker limbo. I know he's not that great. I just feel compelled to bring him to 6-star gold. I'll make him good. I'll figure something out. Or at least passable. Oh, thanks for the heads up, Kurgan. Appreciate you. Yeah, right? Greg Numbers, like it's going to be a perfectly adequate, decent, even card. I might not max out his levels or anything, but I got this stuff to make him decent. Why not? Well, I don't have an LA Bite plate, but I'll get there. In all seriousness, you guys can tell me what you guys think about the frequency of ads. Ironic, I'm talking about it during the middle of an ad break. Um, I'll put it in chat instead. Um, I guess there's an argument to take Cody up. No, there's no argument to take Cody up. I completely forgot. Hold up. Here you go, Envy. You want to really start taking a look at stuff? Here we go. This is where the good stuff is. I think priority number one should probably be this Cody. Yeah, I don't think I actually have ads on YouTube yet. Yeah, I don't have ads on YouTube. I'm not monetized over there. Once I get monetized over there, I'm going to have to make some pretty serious decisions. Like, I can't have music on YouTube if I'm monetized. But I'm legitimately thousands of subscribers away from being monetized on YouTube, so it ain't no thing. I don't worry about it. I'll be amazed if I even sniff 1,000. Um, I think I have to bring up this Cody Rhodes. I don't have enough coin to get him gold. See, this is the problem with talent ups, right? If I want to start working on this guy, I have to wipe out 2/3 of my coin stash just to get him to somewhere to work in. Kurgan, Twitch is significantly easier to accomplish. Significantly. Find me on Discord, DM me, and I'll give you. I'll tell you. I did it in about 3 weeks, which surprised me, but tech gets it done. Zombie Cody is fine, and I find myself using Zombie Cody more than I care to because I don't necessarily like Zombie Cody. It's just one of those that I think I need to build just because I think I need to build it. Acro, I gotta be honest, Acro ladies, unless she has a coaching ability I need. Meh. I can see situations where I'm going to need this. But when it comes to the ladies in acro, like Maria gets it done, Indy gets it done, Kyrie gets it done. And then once in a while I'll run Tiffy if I'm worried about multi-reverses. So I've got all of that going on. It makes it really hard for me to justify like dropping everything and where'd she go? Shooting her to the moon, especially when I know that I'm going to need Io Sky's training ability more. Right? Like I need this much more than I need 5 extra leech gems and 25% purple. And this goes back into the same issue, right? I'm going to spend 3/4 of my coin just bringing her to an area where I can get her to evolve, which means I probably won't mess with her this TU. It's weird. It's a weird little conundrum. And Lyra is better. Yeah, you guys are absolutely right. But I'm leaving. I feel like this is an old school trick, right? You just save these until a talent up event, then you click on it, and you get automatic easy points. Oh, I think I bought Io. I think they offered her up for $20 and some pulls, and that's where I got her. I don't know, Ethan. I only care about Io because of her training ability. D'Angelo. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. I've never used her as a fighter, and I haven't actually started leveling her up. Favorite male and female to fight with? Right now, it's Hip Hop Cena. I love Hip Hop Cena. Julius, like I said, is really growing on me, and then Showboat Gunther is a big fan of Showboat Gunther, like big fan. And then as far as the ladies are concerned, I'll reach for Asuka a lot, just because I know she's going to do massive damage. I don't have to mess with it. But as far as favorites go, I really like this no MP build with where's she at? The witch, Abby. Where'd you go? Where'd she go? She looks like a ghost. How did I miss her? There she is. This moveset right here, man, It's so ridiculous. Um, I need the other moment to really make it work, but this helps a lot. Um, Increase row break gem damage, and then I run her with the row 8 plate, and then obviously like 150% gem damage strap, Fury 3s, probably a rumble plate when I do run her. I probably pulled it off of her for something. And then Mercy and Rabbit. Right, so now I'm making 13 random row breaks with this entire setup right here. Doing 1.7 million bonus for every row break. Like, come on. What's not to love about an easy what's not to like about an easy 20 million? And you don't need an MP trainer. I love that. I love it so much. So this is probably one of my favorites. I don't use her as much because I'm not quite there yet with her, but something about the idea of not needing MP trainers ever, and you can just go whole hog on damage really makes me happy. Also, what's up, Ryan? Appreciate the follow. About time. Good grief. Ryan is the leader of my faction. I'm allowed to give him a little bit of shit. Don't. That slim guy's talking shit to his followers. I'm just giving you shit, Ryan. It's all good. Jamie, what you got? Oh, actually, if I have to choose between the two of y'all, Ryan, why don't you get out of here? Um, Jamie, what math equation you got for me, brother? I'll see if I can help. No promises. I feel like it keeps them grounded, John. You just got to keep poking at them every once in a while. Got to keep poking at them. Swoggle, I'm going to bring up. Swoggle's just too much fun. Diamond, awesome, awesome. I'm glad I'm doing this live instead of trying to record a video and then not getting anywhere with it. This is much more comfortable. Chubby numbers, man. I ain't got no chubby numbers. You know what? I like chubby numbers too. Slim numbers, chubby numbers, they don't matter. All numbers need love. Swoggle's going up. I'm going to have to find some of these. I'll probably end up buying a lot of the tokens off the SD prize wall. So, Swoggle. What are those diamonds? Yeah. So we'll do some Swoggle. Jamie, where'd you go? You had a question about numbers. Get some tars for it. Yeah, Swoggle's going up just because he's fun. I don't really need him, but like, who cares? Nothing up here is too awful interesting to me. Oh, here goes. Max the showdown event for both showdown. Got to the next to last milestone of the overall event, 16k medallions. Did all the limited time tours all CSS. Two, okay. It's 3 million points away. I have 50 of 80 for Austin on the prize. Well, what are you missing? Oh, thanks for the bits, dude. You didn't have to do that. What are we missing? All right. So often when it comes to this stuff, John, I'm not going anywhere, brother. I appreciate the sentiment, but I am super good where I'm at. Um, you can't have Ethan either. Um, oh yeah, Erica Badu. Let's go. So when it comes to, you're talking about this solo contest right here, right, Jamie? Generally, in order to get, you're talking about getting right here, right? To get this, to snag this right here, and you're what, at 13 right here or something? That's what I'm saying, Ethan. They can't have you. They can't have you. So you're looking at a 2 million point swing. I can't tell you exactly where you missed Max Showdown. Did you have Austin for the premium showdown event? No. Okay. So I'm assuming there's probably some of the solo points here locked behind the premium event. And then the rest of it is, it's right here, brother. And yeah, that could be, sometimes I think that can be kind of restrictive. Um, that's still like, it's still a mega in 420s, you know, trying to recruit him with the 80K medallions. That's a good point, Greg Numbers. Great point. Did you get it off Portal? How good is New Trickster Cena? There you go. I don't have Twitch app. His name's John Wrestling. He would know for sure. Okay, cool. So, Jamie, I wish I had a better answer for you, but I think them loot coins are really the only thing it's missing. Um, but on the flip side, you get loot coins. All right. How good is New Trickster Cena? Did I mention anything else? Trick Stacy. All right. I'll put Trick Stacy on the list, but I'm not making any promises that I'm actually going to bring her up. Did you ever figure out your Discord problem, by the way, Shredder? Because we got to figure that out. That's too funny. Okay, cool. So Trickster Cena is the last thing we've talked about. Yeah, I think so, Jamie. You say Trick Stacy. All right, so let's go. So full disclosure, I haven't really dove too hard into Trick Cena yet, because there's one way that works really well for me. Um, and that way is double green, and then I leave the proto bomb in for just reversal purposes, but I never use it. And then for the strap, I got to upgrade the strap, and I'm using takedown threes purely for the gym defense, right? Let me click back into it. But this is the key, in my opinion. Whenever you make 15 or more trap gems, increase your green gem damage by 200% for a turn. That's doing a lot of heavy lifting in this move set. And I haven't quite found anything over here that I like. I'm assuming a Sheik plate would probably help out, but I don't got one. You know, it's only one of the first plates that was ever introduced in the game. Why would I need one of those? No reason. It's fine. I'm not salty. You're salty. Um, And then for Entourage, it's just green gem damage, right? So like something like that. And you have to have 8 green MP to get it started. Or is it 9? Now I gotta look. No, it's 6. Hold up. So it's green. Green gem damage. Green gem damage. And trap gem damage is fine here. So something like that. Oh, my pleasure, Jamie. Um, Honestly, I'm just glad I had people in chat that was able to kind of put a confirmation on it, right? And be like, hey, check it out. This is exactly why. That's the good thing about not being all that great at this game is other people are really good at this game, so they can come in and help out. I really appreciate it. So this is going to hit harder. Who is this, Jack? Yeah, Jack, this is going to hit harder if you have Fury 2s, Fury 3s. I know this is breaking the Merrick's rule of never use tier 6s when showing something off. I get it. I understand. But for the purposes of this, I think it's fine. Yeah, Godfather, he is big for defense. You put him in showdown defense. If somebody or pins your guy but doesn't KO him, he will come in and break the pin and give your guy a chance to go back. At the very least, it's annoying. But Jack, here it is. You're going to make 37 rando traps. And I'll show you what the traps do. Sorry, wrong one. 37 traps. If break by you, you'll deal 800 damage, 800k damage, and increase yellow MP by 6. This doesn't matter. The 800k damage is nice because there's 37 of them. 37. Try not to suck any on their way out to the parking lot. So that's 30 million in damage alone just from breaking the traps. And then here you're going to increase your green gem damage by 316%. So this is a multiplicative buff. So it takes everything that you've already buffed and increases that by 316%, which is huge. And then you're going to blow them all green. There you go. That's 53 million damage. 6-star silver. So you take him to gold and he's not gonna double because he's doing 30 million base damage just from the traps alone, but that is super nice, man. It's super nice. Yeah. And he's got, like I said, he's got other move sets. I just haven't really explored them a lot yet. I started playing around with the double yellow. So George Michaels, let's go. There's a double yellow setup with his. Hold on, not double yellow. No, it is double yellow. So you throw your traps, especially if you put a trap 8 on here, you throw your traps, 35 randos, you'll get some more multiplies. Then you make 24 random trap gems and the multiplies of strength 11, which is huge. And then you basically paint the board yellow, which is pretty decent. And then you get to do it all over again. You lose a little bit of oomph compared to how I have him set up now, but at 6-star gold, this should smack too. All right. You guys are going to have to excuse me. I'm going to scroll back up and chat. So Cajun, the reason that especially Merrick's um, uh, advocates against using tier sixes is not because of the damage increase. The damage increase is pretty significant. Let's pretend these are Furies, or even as takedowns. The damage increase is significant when you start looking at like percentages and stuff like that. The real deal is, in my opinion, the gym defense that comes with it. You can hit anybody and you will win. So you could throw an absolutely random, almost nonsense kind of setup out there, and if you manage to pin, you're probably going to win. And it could be misleading if you put a YouTube video out or something on stream. You're like, oh, I got the best setup ever. And it's this half-cocked situation that barely works, but you end up winning. And if you don't highlight the tier 6 versus tier 5s and how it will likely not work in feud or showdown or anything where it's peer versus peer instead of peer versus environment, it just kind of seems scummy. Not to mention, if your opponent has tier 6s, you hit for less because they also have a bunch of defense on them. There's multiple different reasons. I'll throw Merrick's video about it into the Discord. But again, for purposes like this, why not? We're just showing off real quick onesie and twosie. If I was actually making like a preview video of this Cena, I absolutely wouldn't do it. And I'm also at the point where I'm selling 5s to get 6s. Because Footers is right. Tier 6 and 150 straps will be the norm eventually. All right. So Trick Cena is everybody number 2 in SD. That's correct. Greg Numbers backs me up on the double yellow moveset. That's cool. Yo, go. Absolutely. Hang on. While I'm here. Y'all. So I was talking to Lee earlier today about I'm going to get so lost in chat. I'm just going to have to reset. I was talking to Lee earlier today where I was like, I'm not that great of a card mechanic. I'm much better at game mechanics. So I don't have the best setups. I don't have the ability to look at a card and come up with the best setups. But my man Greg Numbers absolutely does. Go check out his YouTube channel. His videos, unlike mine, are very clear and concise. Hey, Case, thanks for the follow. I appreciate you. His videos are very clear, very concise. You can figure out what's going on very easily. And they're like super solid feud ready builds for just all sorts of stuff. Y'all need to go check him out. Absolutely have to go check him out. He's a good dude. All right. Let's see. Trixie going. Ozzy and TMT Woods are my best tricksters. Yeah, honestly, Muhammad, TMT, Donatello is still a fantastic trickster. For sure. Jamie, I agree with you. Champs community is fantastic. John Wrestling's the man. Look at him right there. Gotcha, Greg. Plus, no Southern male narration through the videos. It's Appalachian, sir. There's a difference. The Appalachian dialect is distinctly different than the Southern dialect. I'll have you know. And if you like, we'll stop everything right now, and I'll just go on a 45-minute essay of the differences between the two. Don't give me no guff. We're hillbillies, not rednecks. Oh, Jamie, I understand and I appreciate you, brother. I really do. But don't ever feel like you have to pay for my attention, all right? I do this sincerely because I think it's fun, and it's genuinely a lot of fun. Um, I started this stream with the intention of going through my roster and planning my own talent up, and now we're showing off, builds of John Cena and builds of R-Truth, and we're bullshitting about Southern accents. I mean, this is what it's all about. This is just a fantastic. It's a fantastic way to spend a Sunday night. All right. So while I'm wearing while we're just showing off gameplay, Ethan, you still out there? Merrick's is the goat. Full stop. Jamie, I have no idea. I'm in the same boat. I don't have 50, but do you have Acros Cena? Do you have the Motu Cena? Ethan, are you out there? What did I say? Acro Cena? Yeah, Acro Austin. All right. So if you have him already, I don't know what to get, man. I am not a good person for advice there. And Ryan, that's about as southern as anything I've heard anybody from upstate New York ever say. So maybe we're not so different after all. Hang tight, you guys. Give me maybe a minute and a half. So I know Ryan doesn't live in Maine, and that's where all of Stephen King stuff is from, but he probably isn't very far away. So when you bury the thing, make sure you don't bury it in, like, I don't know, an Indian burial ground or anything. Last thing we need is a pet cemetery situation. That's fine. You can throw it in the woods as long as the woods is not a ancient Indian burial ground. You'll be fine. I mean, a shoebox is probably biodegradable. So's the bat. You know. some reason Charlotte is absolutely breaking mine. Do you think it's the hoods? Do you think the headwear breaks the emulator? I think it is. Man, all I'm saying is I've read enough Stephen King books to know that you probably don't want to mess around with that stuff. Jamie, if you give me a second, I don't think Ethan's here anymore. No swallow craves. Just on the off chance that Ethan is still here, I'm going to run this, and then we'll go take a look at the prize wall. So Tech Charlotte, you want to buff them green gems. There's Ethan. So here you go, bud. So you load up. You need 6 blue MP to get these 2 moves started. All 3 of them actually, and then the rest of it is just green gem damage. And you need a Piper plate. And then this combo is cool. You're going to place a 7x6 area of green. It kind of sucks when you have green pyros down at the bottom because you're not going to get these 2 added to your damage. But it is what it is. So you're going to break the board. And then you choose a 7/1 to swap into blue. So it'll recycle your blues if you didn't cascade into it. And you're going to blow the board green again, which has already been multiplicatively buffed. And then you're catching the Piper plate bonus and all that good stuff. It's 50 million, and I'm probably way inefficient right here with my setup. Yeah, Greg, you could do that, but I've found that this actually works good enough to usually T1 in feud. But we'll do it. That's a good point, Godfather. I actually didn't think about that. I don't have a green rumble plate. Greg, I do. Well, it's kind of the same thing with Max. I actually don't often cycle her twice. Um, because cycling it once generally does the trick. Yeah, I'll do the Greg setup, Ryan. So Jamie, the reason why most CCs won't use Fury 3s, or if they do use Fury 3s and they don't tell you about it, is because it skews damage totals. And Merrick has a great video on it, but essentially I'll show you here in a second. It's going to be easier for me to show you than it is to just purely tell you. So what Greg's talking about is you hit the buff, you hit the pyros, right? And then instead of breaking the greens, you just choose not to. Okay. And then you put the blues up top here or anywhere where it gives you a low cascade risk, but this is pretty low. Since these are all 6s, now you can do the multiplicative buff again. Now you're at 250 multiplicative, and now you've popped the Piper plate twice, so everything's 200% additive. And then you go nuts. Actually, now that I think about it, you probably don't even need to lay the greens there either. Who knows how much damage it was? It was a lot. I'm telling you, sub to Greg numbers. He's got the good builds. I don't have the good builds. Greg's got the good builds. Yeah, multiplicative. That's cool. Godfather, that's a really good shout. That's a really good shout. Um, It's Appalachian. So, Jamie, I think I sent. If I didn't send it to you, I can put it in chat. Yeah, Maxine can do the same. Um, am I a math teacher? No, I am not a math teacher, and I am a college dropout. Believe it or not. This is just all picked up with working for a very large company and having to do a bunch of crap that I didn't know how to do. So I taught myself how to do it. YouTube is a wonderful thing. But Jamie, the deal here is these are Fury 2s, right? The easiest way to look at it is go down here to your gym defense, and your gym defense is only 27.5%. So if you assume that your opponents also have Fury 2s, that means they're probably also running with about 27 to 30% gym defense. However, if you have or Fury 3s on, you can get up into the hundreds and 20s, 140, 150% gym defense. Okay? So your opponent's not going to hit you very hard, but you're going to hit them with the full fury of Fury 3s unless the other person has Fury 3s. And if the other person has Fury 3s, well, they also probably have like 130 to 150 gym defense. Now, you're going to run into Fury 3s in Showdown. You're going to run into Fury 3s in Feud a lot. And that's really where all of these builds matter. I can show you a half a dozen different ways to cheese a tour, but there's only a couple of ways to actually win in Feud and Showdown. So by showing Fury 3s off against Fury 2s, you have such an enormous advantage that it actually skews the results. You're not going to get the same results if you go up against another set of Fury 3s. And it could be very misleading. And one of the challenges and problems, I think a lot, especially the official guys, I'm unofficial. I could just say, it's not my fault. Y'all guys looking at me and watching me. I don't know what I'm doing. Scopely doesn't, tap me on the shoulder and give me promotion. Nah, I can be wrong. But the official guys, I think there's a bit of responsibility there for them to not mislead the audience because there is so much investment involved in the game. Say you bring up a card to absolute max level, expecting a result that you saw on YouTube from somebody that Scopely says, yeah, we co-signed this guy to do content for us, and all of a sudden you don't get it. You've spent all of those resources on a card that you thought was good that actually isn't, and you did it because an official CC said it was going to be good. It gets a little grimy. So I think a lot of people have just stayed at the default Fury 2s, because it's going to be a more true representation of what you're going to actually see when you go peer versus peer instead of peer versus environment. Does that make sense? Often you get cocky with Fury 3s? Yes, very much so. Awesome. Good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah, Fury 3s can actually absolutely hit you sideways. Especially if they get one of those AI kickouts where they end up cascading the whole board 1.5 times. Yeah, Godfather, you're absolutely right. YouTube and AI, and you can learn just about anything. All right. So we showed off Charlotte. Official CC's be lying. I didn't say y'all be lying. I'm saying you guys probably, you know what? No, y'all official CC's be lying. That's why you got to come to the underground. You got to come to the underground. What's up, Champions Chat? How y'all doing? Love y'all. Well, actually, no. Champions Chat, now that you're here, would you agree with me that there's a little bit of like responsibility by the official guys to make sure that the information they're putting out to the community is um, as correct as they can possibly be, right? There's got to be a certain responsibility there, or a feeling of responsibility, right? Yeah, I figured it was the Reverend Rusty. Be trolling. Rusty be trolling. $100% correct. Yeah, so I think that's a large part of the reason why, again, Jamie, from Champions Chat themselves, from Rusty, they probably don't use a lot of tier 6 Fury medals or takedown threes because it could be slightly misleading against PVE or peer versus environment. And to the best of my knowledge, I think they get a smack on the wrist if they get into peer versus peer environments like showdowns or feuds or anything like that, because they're on an account that is juiced. You know what I'm saying? You see their talent level? The champions or those content creator accounts are like 22.5 million. They're strong. They are in short supply. You're absolutely right. I feel like they're getting better. They're doing a good job at like metering them out, right? They haven't flooded the market, but they haven't made them so scarce that nobody has a set. Every time I see one pop up, I'm like, "Ooh, nice! I got another one." Um, so yeah, we got like one. I got a ton of takedown threes. Game knows I love move damage. Got a lot of armor twos too. And obviously, I mean, this is very small sample size, but clearly they're prioritizing. I think it's no secret that the Fury threes are like going to be the most sought after. And then in use, I got a good amount, I guess. But this is the only one of these I got. This one right here, the legendary one. Look at some of the substats. These are big boys. Where was I? Yeah, I mean they're coming in at a decent enough clip to not feel scarce, but they're not coming in so quick that you don't get excited every time you see one show up. Yeah, I agree, Rusty. That's kind of the way I felt too. Everybody in Showdown seemed to have a Fury 3 hanging out. Um, I got caught by a couple of them. I got. All right. Jamie, let's take a look. Prize wall. So I got 23K. I'm not balling, but like what do you do here? This is such like these all feel like traps. Random era powerhouse. You know as well as I do affiliation straps. Wait, what? What? What you talking about? Oh, these guys. You know what? They're cheap. Might as well. They are cheap. Yeah, see, footers, I'm kind of the same way. Like, and I'm sure Jamie's. It sounds like he's also kind of in the same boat. Like, I can get 500 away from Penta, which I guess if I was a smart man, yeah, absolutely should get closer to Penta. I'd get a little bit closer to Punk, and Punk's objectively great. So, like, yeah, why not? Why not do that? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not necessarily a terrible idea. It's relatively low cost. You can throw a bunch of shards at her. Jamie, if for some reason you don't have any of these guys, these are cheap. I'd load up. Dirty Dom rules. Tamatong is a cool coach, if nothing else. JD's going to be a blue boss break or a blue boss battle king. This is the best Kurt Angle. It's Brett. Dom's a lot of fun as a card. So affiliation straps aren't for good cards. Affiliation straps are for like powerhouse. What is it? Powerhouse Sting, Striker Sting, Striker Sting. You're never going to go into a fight with Striker Sting, but you're going to need +4 red MP on multiple cards. You know what I'm saying? Or like, I could see a case for like Zombie Brett, where not a lot of people use Zombie Brett, even though he's perfectly passable as a fighter. But then you've got your +40, +60, +40 purple, +60 multiply damage, and you can put it on multiple people in one feud and not have to worry about swapping trainers. That's what affiliation straps are really just. Um, yeah, it is random, but I mean, there's a lot of really random good trainers. Let's see here. But yeah, that's what affiliation straps are. Affiliation straps are just being able to set up a feud lineup without having to swap trainers. That's what affiliation straps are to me. Other than that, they don't matter. Um, New Austin, Showboat Cena, Showboat SBD, SBD. I'm not sure who SBD is. PH Steiner. Oh, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I think there's a couple of schools of thought here, and I subscribe to one school of thought, and you may be really surprised at this looking at my resources. Um, I'm always looking for what helps me now, what helps me in the future. What up, Bills Mafia? Um, so like getting closer to Fruit Loop Cena or getting closer to Penta is the smart play. That is what you should be doing if you're paying attention to your roster and you're willing to treat the game as a marathon and not a sprint. I have a low attention span and absolutely need instant gratification. So to me, in my little brain, I could say, hey, I could get 500 shards away from Penta, or look at all this econ I could get. Does it suck to have to settle for econ? Yes, but this is 3 to 5 different upgrades for tricksters I can do. And that helps me more now than getting the Penta shards will be. Even though, you get the Penta shards now, and who knows, you may pull 500 Penta shards later, and Bob's your uncle. So, what do you mean? Wait a minute, Cajun. You know what? I'm not going to. I actually, I actually don't like the character specific um, straps. I don't because you can only use it on this Steve Austin. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 150% gym damage is fantastic, and you're going to want to put as much gym damage as you possibly can on Steve Austin. But do you really want to have a strap that can only be put on Steve Austin? In the so if I was going to long term plan and I was long term planning on this prize wall, I would rather get shards than this strap. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be honest, this isn't a terrible look either. A couple of legendary furies, one of them being gym damaged. It's it's not a terrible look. No, an Xbox affiliation strap. Well, one I'm not sure how many of the Xbox actually have great coaching abilities off the top of my head, but at least you can use it on a bunch of them. I feel the same way about the Mexican tag links affiliation strap we just got. Um, that one's fine. It's just the ones that work for only one person, right? Unless that one person, it's an affiliation strap, and that one person is really great. Like I got a Hall of Fame Goldberg affiliation strap. That's pretty decent, but I also like using Hall of Fame Goldberg, so it's not that useful, but it kind of is. All right. Yeah, I guess Jamie, I don't think I know how to answer this particular question. If you can't click a button and recruit a character, really it's going to be what best works for you. And I don't really know how to answer that. Oh, Jamie, uh, Rusty was piloting the Champions Chat YouTube account and jumped into the YouTube stream and was doing some light trolling. So I was talking to one of the CCs. Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to think. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep up with it, but I'm trying to think. Um, I'll check some stats and see if that's going to continue. Um, yeah, right. I haven't seen anybody else do it on YouTube, and I was talking about it earlier in the stream. The core of my audience should always be YouTube because that's where like I actually teach about the game and explain concepts instead of just sit here and listen to music and bullshit. Um, so I figure why not stream over there as well because that's where the core of my audience currently is and probably should always be. All right, let's go back to planning talent ups. Unless Jamie, do you need me to go back to the prize wall? I guess I just don't have a really good answer because it really just depends on your roster and what your needs are. Um, Yeah, you might as well do it then. It feels like the hollow cards, they're not going to. I have a feeling that they're not going to restrict their shards too awful much. It'll still be a hard get, but it's not going to be as hard of a get as others because they're just so cool. I mean, they're holographic. Talk you out of the Austin strap. Again, if you think you're going to get a lot of value out of the Austin strap, get the Austin strap. I just know I probably, given my druthers, would go somewhere else. Side note, if you guys haven't listened to Grace by Jeff Buckley, who's playing on the radio right now, it is one of the top 10 albums of the 90s, period. The entire album is brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. And I would put it in like a top 30 of all time pop music. It is so good. Just amazing. Yeah, I think Austin is going to be a hard recruit. Well, I completely agree, Kurgan. I think they're going to keep him out there just to allow the community an opportunity to have him. They did the same thing with Swoggle, really. Like Swoggle out of bags was super common, and I feel like I've seen him on prize walls a bit as well. At least shards for him. I think he's been in some pulls. He's just one of those cool little characters. Well, literally and figuratively. Yeah, this era straps are amazing. Almost roster changing, in my opinion. They're brilliant. Um, Nothing really to move up here. Striker locked here again. But I want this for Gunther. Absolutely want this for Gunther. I'm going to take him gold eventually just to get, once I get the other moment, so I can run the one click. Not because it's quick, I just think it's hilarious that they actually built a card where you can just click one button, and if you have all the toys, you win. It's a little slow, it's pretty cascadey, but exactly, footers, exactly. Exactly. Um, but yeah, just the ability to click one button and win the game is hilarious to me. So I will actually. Yeah, that ain't gonna be too bad. And he's at max level. All right, let's go. So we got Pig Boy, Stunning Steve. Once I find those tokens, Hall of Fame Macho. I got three. I got three. Jamie, yes, I did get one. I put out a video on it earlier today. Go check me out on YouTube. Um, it's not a common, like Merrick's put out a video where he made a yeet drip. Mine's not a yeet drip. Um, it's actually the Trap 8 plate plus a purple Royal Rumble. But the whole point of the video is I was trying to explain, like, hey, check it out. Don't get locked into thinking it's one thing. These are going to be so versatile that if you sit and take a look at your roster, you're going to be able to do a lot of different things just with the fact that you have one of these belts. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, like I said, I think it's roster changing. I went from having one or two really great superstars to now having still one or two great superstars, but five other ones that can do the job when I need them to for very specific reasons. And Bill's Mafia, that's exactly what I'm going to put my Yeet Trip on is Attitude Era, because my Attitude Era is hot trash. Hot trash. And so my plans are to work Nash, Macho, and maybe even DXX Pac. Um, and then use the Yeet drip to float around all three of those. Both of these need to go up. I'm token locked. Jamie, it's cheaper to switch your Fury medals than it is to switch your skill plates. I guess instead of working up Swoggle, I should probably work up Last Time Is Now Cena. Ooh, why not both? Because satellite dishes are going to ruin me. He really needs to go up, though. I'll put him on the list. Yeah, right, Cajun? Me too. Me too. But it's still cheaper than, like, paying $10 for the plate swapper currency. Well, see, that's the beauty, Ethan. If I get an attitude, if I get this attitude class agnostic, it's going to be at least 100%er, which is fine. This guy right here. Actually, I'm at 73.90. This is another reason I don't have resources. I should have thought about this and actually got the tokens I need to do talent up instead of clicking this stupid button. But now I got it. There you go. You just throw a Yeet drip on this, and Acura DX, Macho Man, and Nash all got a lot better. And a lot cheaper than what it is on the Armory loot. So if you need an Attitude Era, grab it from this. I probably should have really thought about that. But I got it. Oh, it's 130. Let's go. Let's go. Look at all these room for activities I got now. Look at them. Look at them all. That's awesome. There you go, Jamie. Shoot, you got the discounted roll? I get three of them. Like straight up, I'd get three of them. I don't know why I'd get three. Maybe just two, but go buy it, Ethan. I just showed you where to get it. All right, what was I talking about? So I'm token locked here. I agree, Gelfling. So is Dinosaur Jr. I mean, I guess we're doing it. We might, well, how much? Yeah, I can't justify that. I don't have enough coin. Eventually, he needs to go up. Actually, maybe DX Army Sean goes up. Plenty of tokens, plenty of shards, plenty of TP. Did this take stupid? I am absolutely starved for coin. You are correct. That's what's going to make talent up very difficult for me tomorrow. It's probably going to be a week-long affair. I'm going to have to run through some tours and some contests and stuff to try to build the coin back up. I'm going to burn some prize wall currency just getting coin. This isn't a bad idea, though. I should probably work up this DX Sean. Not no, Jamie. So I've been doing some research on that specifically because this is the second time you've tried, or maybe even the third time. I probably will not enable that on my streams, and the reason I probably won't enable it is those commands usually go through PayPal, and there is a very well known type of trolling that is financially damaging to the streamer, where somebody will tip any amount of money and then they will contest the charges. And when the charges get contested, it gets reversed by PayPal, and the receiver has to pay $15 for the contesting. And that's not something I'm willing to open myself up for. So that command will most likely never work on my stream. Just kind of is what it is. Yeah, Cajun. After that moment, his he got real good. Oh, I'm in cream of the crop, Gelfling. Cream of the crop. Probably the greatest faction you've never heard of. $3 for an Austin loot coin pull? I, yeah, I'll tell you what. Future 300, I'll do a single. I'm going to buy it on the portal, but I'll do a single pull. For the record, though, this does put me in uncomfortable territory, but I'll do it once. DX Sean is one sided. What do you mean, Gelfling? Like, he's a one shot for sure. He's a glass cannon. If you don't knock him, if you don't KO your opponent first turn, you're probably in a world of hurt. But if you can get it, but if you can get it to hit hard first turn, who cares about the second turn, right? And Jamie, it's not. Yeah, hitting over 700 mil. Like that's he's a one shot. He's a glass cannon because you're not going to be able to do 700 mil turn two most likely. At least not consistently. But you can do that 700 million or 70 million first turn pretty okay. Oh, look at all this stuff I got in here. I should probably pay more attention. I do have Nash. You're absolutely right, and Nash will be going up as well. What do we do here? All right, let's do it. One for the money. Steve Austin, 6-star gold, coming right up. I got stars. That's encouraging. At least it's a 6-star bronze. I'm not mad at it. I need those shards. I'm not mad at it. Jamie, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Ain't mad at it. That's a good pull. Um, but since I did just buy that strap, let's look at it this way. So nothing in the second row is really truly worth working on other than I'm going to bring Brett up eventually. I'll bring Austin 316 up eventually. And this honestly will solve a lot of my Attitude Era problems. WCW Ray. I can buy his second gear and get that buff. So Yeet Drip's going to help him out. He's going to be gold by the end of the month. Nash, I'm going to be token locked again. What's my problem with Macho here? Oh, probably token locked, right? Yep. I can pull up DXX Pac, I suppose. Thrasher overlooked. Gilfling, I run him triple blue with Heartstopper and the break purple get blue. And he does decent damage. Decent. The problem is he's cascade prone. There's also an idea that you can run him double blue. But I don't think I have the trainers to run him double blue at his maximum ability. Now, I will admit, I don't have any of his moments. And there's a chance that he gets significant never-ending sub. Yeah. Increase purple. Subs turn into multis. Nope. Destroy multis. Gelfling, how, like, what type of damage are you doing on finisher, though, here? You're not even hitting finisher, are you? No, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Am I missing something with this sub? I'll make sure to target Ryan when I run this. Only when it's over, general hand feels... oh. Huh. So you gain 3 purple. So you generate... All right. I'm missing something here. So you start with 2, I'm assuming a bunch of sub damage because 205 is not bad, but it's not huge either. Sub is over. You pop that. You hit that. Gain 3 more there. Your very next turn, you're only at 4. You're still missing 2 MP, aren't you? Oh, well. Wait, when you hit this move and then hit this... Hold on. I feel like I'm... Maybe I'm misunderstanding how all of this works. It's investigation time. What happened, Cajun? Oh, it edited the last message? So let's pretend this isn't loaded. We hit that. Ah, brilliant. The Bionic Redneck Austin, though? That's good Austin. Good shards. Oh, you just don't lose. You literally don't lose. So Cajun, the time, so it's basically just overwriting the post instead of putting out a new one. Huh, this is clever. I like this. Oh, and then Ethan is absolutely right. You use some sort of like subplate. You don't have to worry too much about getting pinned because you have multis literally everywhere on the board. Jamie, I don't have a Discord. We're talking about our faction Discord. Now, if you want to join our faction, absolutely, I'll get you the link. What a clever little build. I like it. Never in a million years, never in a million years would have put this together. Huh. So what is it? What is a hit like? Is it a decent hit? Yeah. All right. I get the concept. That's cool. Yeah, no, absolutely, guys. Absolutely. This is um, essentially just a proof of concept. Like, hey, how does this work? What would we do to make this work? Et cetera, et cetera. That's neat. So, yeah, you'd use. In order to be real about it, you probably wouldn't use X-Pac. You would probably do. Oh, the 2 purple plus sub damage, whoever that is. Yeah, Sonya, and then I'm sure there's other stuff. Probably, yeah. LP. Yeah, sure. That'd be fine. All right. It is 6, so if you use 2, 2, 4, and then Santa here, is that what you're saying? For tours, you absolutely don't need woods. You're absolutely right. No. Yeah. Okay. Neat. I'm gonna have to remember that. It's definitely not the worst idea in the world. I'm a little low on these doohickeys right here, so I'm going to kind of hang off from continuing going too awful much further. Um, Gelfling, with your permission, there might be I've already got one Thrasher video on my channel. I might actually update that and do another one. Jamie, thanks for hanging out, brother. I appreciate you. Appreciate you very much. All right. Yeah, I'm rating that one down. I might. I don't know if I'm going to turn that into a short or another full-fledged video. That's cute though. I like it. That's clever. I love stuff like that. Shit that they just I never would have thought of it. Never would have thought of it. You know who I really need to work on? Miss Keebler here. Jamie, you're too kind. Too kind. Hey, all right, my bot works. Let's go. That's dope. Jamie, you're too kind, but I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Tex Stacy? Isn't Tex? I think Tex Stacy's one of those that should be really good, and she's not. No, that's I'm thinking of somebody different. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. There is a Zorro build with Trick Stacy. So Gelfling, just catch up. Um, for some reason, Trick Stacy has become a meme in Cream of the Crop. Um, and multiple people have brought her to 6 gold just because it's funny. And I think Zorro actually has a video on Trick Stacy doing pretty decent work. I think you need a lot of toys to make it work, but she can do work still. Oh, I know who I need to check on. How far away am I from being able to do anything with? Ugh. Ugh. So much coin. That is so much coin. I have a punk plate just specifically for her. It doesn't matter. It's striker. I don't have any striker tokens. Yeah, Valkyrie's going up for sure. I'm just doing the old school thing with her to catch some cheap talent up points by recruiting her tomorrow. I have to reset. This is where things start getting really weird, though. Like I've got some like mid stuff. I gotta find something decent to TU here. Tech Asuka. She's on my list of forever projects too. Where'd she go? Down here somewhere. I'm just scrolling now. She should be like right here. Gotta work on her. Right here. Hey, Vinny2K, what's going on, brother? Appreciate the follow. I passed her. Yeah, naturally. Next thing. I'm convinced that half of all champions, WWE champions content from people on Twitch and YouTube is just scrolling through stuff, looking at things. This game has a serious menu problem. So what's her new moveset? I know she's got a bunch of interesting things she can do. I mean, this is just interesting in and of itself. This is make 10 random gems in 1-turn countdowns. They pop for 84k damage, isn't huge, but makes the bottom 2 rows of multis strength 2, which isn't huge. But it's only a 1 MP move, and then you got another 1 MP CD move. So like the Z plate. Hey, Gelfling, appreciate you, brother. 10 random countdowns into blue gems. That seems like it's kind of at odds with each other. Skip turn. Oh, that's huge. If an opponent's style is chaotic, that's a lot of paying attention and stuff. I'll have to do some research on Asuka. Flying forearm, running drop kick, Asuka lock. So stun. Big area of green. Turns into column break. Yeah, Eyes of Judgment. Judgment plate is one of those plates. Wait, did I get one of that one recently? That's one of these, right? I think a JD plate's one of those things that I have not quite got my hands on yet. It's an ultimate plate. All right, I'll have to check. Is it going to allow me to do? Nope, of course not. That's too easy. Can I backdoor my way? No. Okay, fine. Fine. Game, fine. Yeah, I think I'm still sans JD plate. Yeah, I ain't got it yet. Yeah, Andrew, that's also a really solid point. Like Charlotte, May, Nikita, Molly Holly, and Liv, they're all beasts. Liv, so Liv is one of those cards that I think kind of got like not entirely sure she got a fair shake at the very beginning when she came out. I think Flex was real high on her, and everybody else is like, yeah, she can work, but stuff like that. But I think this move set works great, and I got this one from Blueski, from Toxic Mafia. Blueski has been on Champions Chat videos. He is one of those guys that just knows how the game works. He's awesome. I've encouraged him a couple of times to start a channel, and he hasn't yet. He's just one of those guys that really knows. He's a card mechanic. I'm starting to talk about this more, but there are guys who can just figure out how to make cards work. And they're card mechanics, and Blueski is absolutely one of them. But he showed me this move set with this plate move set, and it rules. It absolutely rules. Here, I'll show you. Yeah, the problem is there's better options, even though Asuka's great against Chaotix. And she doesn't cover any specific era. Like if for some reason she was PG era, or what up, Vinny? Vinny 2K. Hey, speaking of my Toxic Mafia friends, what's going on, buddy? I didn't set up trainers. This is going to be garbage. I'm doing great. Let's just pretend I have trainers on her. I just find this to be such an absolutely clever moveset. Benny, we chilling, man. We're just kind of hanging out. I initially started trying to figure out how to play in my TU, and well, we just kind of meandered all over the place. This triggers the Piper plate. So you catch that bonus, and then you hit the finish. Whoops. And then you want to do that. You blow all that up, and then the Maze Crown blows up her primary color, which is super nice. I don't have trainers on her, and she did 83 million damage. Yeah, Vinny, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it feels like everybody in the community was like, yeah, she's all right. She's cool. She's all right. And Blueski was like, no. She's solid. Watch this. I was like, oh, yeah. You ain't wrong, man. You ain't wrong at all. And she does, Andrew, you're right. She covers the Asuka requirement. But, I got lucky. I went a little harder than I normally go, and harder than I want to really talk about during 90s month, because I'm stuck in a period of arrested development. I really enjoyed the 90s. And I really wanted Cena, and I ended up getting everybody but Sammy from that month. And this Asuka just absolutely slays. She's as good as every other Asuka in the game combined. It's kind of unreal how powerful she is. Yeah, cool. It was a tough month, but I kind of committed to a decision. So I really like move damage. I like unblockable damage, and I like move damage. Um, and Merrick's put out like a 3-minute preview video on this Cena. He was like, look, no bullshit. You don't need anything. Click these moves. Here you go. You win. I was like, no, I need that. I need that on my roster. And it happened. I made it happen. That's all I want to talk about. It happened. Yeah, I think for TU, I think the long and short of it is I'm in a bad spot. Everybody I want to bring up is like Trickster or Striker, Token Locked, Trickster, Striker. Yeah, Final Scene is great. Got him too. Ali, Token Locked. And I guess that's where it puts me into a situation where, oh, this is going to break my emulator. Like maybe I do work on Bull Nakano. I know she's good. I got Abby the Witch, so I don't really need her. But like, okay, enough, go away. Shouldn't have even pressed the button. But maybe I work on her. I'll put her on the list. It'd be relatively cheap to get from, 5-star gold to 6-star bronze. Here's another one. Striker locked. Or token locked. Like I'm to the point where I don't even see like low-level trainers that I absolutely have to have. This weekend, Flash Feuds are one of my favorite weekends because I get to finally pop all my star fills and fuses. There's something really satisfying about it. I guess the same thing could be said for the body here. He'd be relatively cheap to work on. He's okay. He's alright. I don't think anybody's going to really consider him, He's not going to light the world on fire, but there'd be some cheap evolves. Please don't. Really what's going to happen now that I'm looking at it, I'm probably going to skyrocket Rick Rude because he's old school Hall of Fame. And a move damage trainer. So, I mean, I can use it. I love move damage. I got enough tokens. That's probably what's going to happen is I'm going to skyrocket Rick Rude Hall of Fame. It's almost criminal that we only have 2 Rick Rudes. $90 fuses? Oh my goodness. Yeah, but it's not going to be that much of a TP drain. I mean, at least starting out. I might not skyrocket him immediately to gold, but I think he's probably going to go up just because. Does this moment help him? Not really. You're absolutely right, Gelfling. We need a good Roddy Piper. Ethan, that's tough, brother. That's tough. What do you guys think of Disciple? What's your personal opinions on him? You guys are making me feel so good. I'm so typically like resource poor. I'm so happy to see that other people are in the same spot that I'm in. Yeah, we need a good Big Show. We need a good Andre. We need a good Piper. Like, look, we got a good Beefcake, right? Yes, we got a good Brutus the Barber Beefcake. That's awesome. We got him. But like, there's some actual legends of the game we don't have very many good cards of. He didn't meet. See, I'm the further down I go, the less interesting options that I've got. Did anybody work up the reworks and actually make them good? Devon and Bubba. Yeah, Godfather, I agree. There's a lot of videos that make him look super strong. His power gems are just beast. That was 3 no's in a row. Yeah, like I know they reworked them. I'm sure somebody did videos on them. I haven't really looked. Zorro. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's the roster, man. I don't know what to do here. It's going to be tough. Again, I'd be just fine working up Bam Bam, but he's striker. Yeah, meh. I'm in a tough spot. Is Wendy old school? I guess this Ultimate Warrior is old school. I do like I do like Warrior. He is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Oh, what a trash coach ability, though. Oh my god. There's literally no justification other than building him for a chest of disappointment. Ugh. Sorry, I'm making an executive decision real quick. That song did not pass the vibe check. Hall of Fame Heart, funnily enough, Bret Hart was one of my first 6-star golds. It was some sort of faction something or other talent up event or something. Um, and I pulled the trigger on him outside of a talent up and got 0 points for it. And I was so mad. So mad. Maybe one of my first 6-star bronzes since I have so many levels left to go. And then pulled a 6-star gold fuse for him. But it was an event that hurt my feelings so much that I have never really messed with him since. Other than he's got my max level hell freezes over. So I pull him out for boss battle. Oh, Neidhart. He's new school, isn't he? Isn't he a new school Hall of Fame? I want to say he's a S plus tier. Yeah, he's a new school. So Andrew, the answer to that question is one, nobody knows, but two, the reason you're hearing more about it, um, yeah, exactly, gold tokens for gem. The reason you're hearing so much about it is May of last year was when six star gold was announced and revealed and put into the game. So we've now gone 12 full months without a rarity change, and it kind of feels like taking this guy to six star gold is almost max talent up. How? You're just using coin and TP. None of the tokens actually count in talent up because they're the new school tokens, not the old school tokens. Taking that warrior to five stars gold or six star gold would probably max talent up at level from level one, but not a new school Hall of Fame, not a gold token Hall of Fame. Where's the button I'm looking for? Right here. These guys right here. June is a perfectly acceptable guess for the next rarity. Um, yeah, I it has to be something has to happen soon. Um, because things are getting into a weird spot. The T6 metals, the tier 6 metals have essentially nerfed damage when it comes to T6 versus T6. Again, Merrick's has a great video about this. Go check out his channel. But the T6 metals have basically nerfed damage, but not enough to stop turn one wins. And then the cards they're putting out now, some of them are so power crept. It's insane. Go check out the champions chat, break it down on the new Austin. I mean, Lee is doing 200 million basically with a very common setup. Hip Hop Cena does stupid damage. Oscar does stupid damage. Um, Dirty Dom does stupid damage. Um, Revenge Toward Live does stupid damage for being relatively easy to put together, right? Um, Disciple does pretty stupid damage for a free T character based off the power gems, especially if you have the turtles. They're power creep in the game real hard because they have to give you something to chase after and something to throw money at. But like, how much faster do we have to be? We have several two click and win cards in feud in other PvP game modes, or in the terms of like the Cena here, it's a three click, but you never touch the board. Like you just don't play the game whatsoever. You just click, 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 and you win. And the only way to stop it is an absolute brutal meta shift. And it's got to be sooner rather than later. The T6 metals are going to change the meta and have changed the meta slightly. But nothing as brutal as an actual rarity change would be. I'm assuming Ethan's talking about the newest one, Radical Seth. And I don't see Radical Seth as being overpowered as I see him as being extraordinarily versatile, right? You can run him traps, you can run him countdowns. Whoops, wrong button. Run him countdowns, or if you got the Punk Gauntlet, you can run him countdowns or color turn. For an A tier, could run three ways and be successful all three ways. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Guys, got to step away for give me 3 to 5 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right. I took a break, but honestly, I can't. That's about all I got. Staring at my roster for a while. I'm going to go to bed tonight. I'm going to think about 5 different cards that I overlooked here that I need to work on that I just completely spaced. It's going to be one of those situations where I figure it out as the week goes on. All right. I think, I don't know. What do you guys got? Any other questions or any setups you want to see? Want to see me run anything? I don't think I actually have any gameplay that I need to do. Everything I need to do over here is... It's not going to help me. These extra 65 is not going to help. I counted up the points. What are our thoughts on the armory loot for this month compared to the other two? I gotta be honest, I haven't even looked at the pulls for the armory loot. We found those straps and I was like, nah, there's no reason to grab any of this stuff for me. No reason at all. Like, all this stuff in here is cool. Well, I don't know. I'm not so sure about the super sub plates. It'd be nice to grab another yeet plate. It'd be nice to grab another punk gauntlet. Absolutely. I don't even have a gender plate, so I need one of those. I think they added the pentaplate here. Dirty Deeds is one of those that's interesting, but I think it's a super limited use case right now. I haven't seen anybody do like a real deep dive on everybody that this works with. Off the top of my head, I'd want to try it on like maybe Kofi. Maybe. Yeah, see, I don't think I don't think I grabbed the medal the first plate or the first month either. I probably should pull because the scimitars. I don't have a chic plate. This stuff here, like, random to me just means like PG era or reality era. That's what this means to me. And yeah, these are awesome, of course. But now we're into like bleed immunity, extra turn strap. Like, no, thank you. If I pull a 40% damage strap of any type, I'm selling it immediately. All these tier 5s, they'd all be sold instantly. It might as well just give me this stuff, right? Like, Yeah, I would only want this for the tier 6 medals. I'm actually going to go down to moments real quick. I've pulled this twice since this loot came out. I haven't gotten a new moment from it. And it kind of weirds me out that they've got posters in here instead. And I don't, other than Ron here, I don't, Ron and Mello. I don't really care about any of the posters here. If I don't have them already, I mean, it'd be cool to have Devon. It'd be cool to have Tori, but like, meh. This is the super protected Cody moment, right? The story finished. The invasion moment. Bloodline would be nice to get for sure. The expensive one, this would be nice to get for sure. But I've never pulled a moment out of these. Then you get down here to the very rare stuff, and it's like, man, I don't want to spend this currency on a 6-star bronze last outlaw taker. Yeah, I don't know. I think I think the belts, and again, I put a video out earlier today. I think the belts are so roster impacting that even if you were a whale, even if you were a top tier 17, 18 million talent account, those belts are going to help so much that why would you bother trying for any of this stuff to catch the stuff you don't have? The one exception I will say is the gear, and it's because I'm not interested in chasing any of this gear. I just want the hangers. I just want the hangers. That's it. So I can buy my Ollie gear. That's and that pull for me has been so strong that I have fought early in the month. I fought like, how many of these belts do I get with armory stuff before I start pulling gear again, so I can get hangers to get my Ali gear. I'm scrolling through this fast because I like, I don't like, I don't care about any of these. Maybe the Grayson Waller gear. Not gonna lie, but I need the Aussie Loudmouth gear, not the NXT gear, and I don't think that's in this loot. So you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there's some good stuff up here in the featured, kind of, kind of. But given my druthers between, grabbing either of these two gears of cards I don't have, I would like Maxine's gear. I really would like Brett's gear. Really would like Charlotte's gear. There's the Aussie Loudmouth. See, I'm talking myself back into pulling gear loot. Wouldn't mind this one. Like, thanks, Godfather. Now I'm going to think about this for the next couple of days. Like, do I really need another belt? What if I get that Maxine gear? Make Maxine so much better. You don't get why the evolution moment takes 10 tokens. FOMO. It's just a way to drive activity in the game to try to get this stuff. That's the only reason why. I've actually thought about doing a video running through the moments and like talking about which ones are cool and which ones are bogus. But this was several months ago before they just I feel like they kind of flooded us with moments. And some of the ones they flooded us with, one I didn't get, and two are actually really, really good. I was thinking about this in February, and this would have been a much easier kind of deal. And then I just went whole hog and leveled all of them up to 30. Yeah, but maybe Godfather, this is the one time where I do pull. Maybe I pull the good one. You don't know. I don't know. We don't know. Maybe I pull the good one. We absolutely know I'm not pulling the good one. But what if? What if? Maybe, I don't know. This might be retreading old content, but, talk about some of the characters that get really good with the most common moments. Oh, you got the beer bath? That was pretty decent, right? Look, Godfather, all I'm saying is you never know until you pull. Yeah, that's a decent moment. So I was listening to Two Bob's latest roundtable podcast. Um, and I forget who it was. It might have been B Rock that mentioned it. Who I think is the leader of Not a Full Time Job, I believe. I could be wrong. Um, and he brought up the question of like, why all of a sudden have they pushed 316 Austin so incredibly hard? Like, this is legitimately one of the best strikers in the game if you have all the toys. Which is insane because 316 Austin has been around as long as I can remember. And I've only been playing since like 2020, but like, that's 5 solid years that this card has been around. Then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, by the way, this is one of the best cards we have. We're going to throw the absolute kitchen sink at it. So I agree with you in principle, Godfather. One of the things that are going to hold me back is I don't have so many of them. Like, look at this. This is, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I solid don't have 22 of them. Right? So, like, how much credibility do I have just clicking on this button saying, hey, by the way, the Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock is a great moment to have because it does all this stuff. By the way, I can't show you what any of it does because I don't have it. I mean, on one level, I can do that. Be like, look, yellow gems do 100% more damage. You got Austin 316 triple yellow. That should be all you need. Or Final Boss Rock and his finisher, which paints the board yellow. Yeah, it makes it better. I don't know. I guess maybe it's a personal thing where I feel like I don't have credibility if I don't actually have the thing to show off the thing. But just yellow gems do 100% more damage makes two of these 6 cards better. And it doesn't, you don't have to be, as long as you can look at it and conceptualize it, you should be fine. I'm the numbers guy. There's credibility in that. Well, I mean, so that's part of the thing, right? Um, one of my favorite things Merrick's always says is don't believe anybody about this game unless they basically can prove it to you. And that's why I have spreadsheets. That's why I've made calculators. That's why I can say, hey, look, I can show you that this move set will do this exact amount of damage based on how the game actually works because I have everything right there. If I don't have everything right there, it feel like it takes a hit to my credibility because I'm just guessing, um, thinking, and sometimes I do that with the boss battle videos and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's a weird. I'm just weird. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just weird. You haven't tried 316 with a trip yellow yet? Evidently, it smacks. I haven't either. I just still run him triple black and bleed damage sub people to death. That's a monster sub and pretty decent bleed damage. You're right. They are no different. And I've gotten not to toot my own horn, but I think I have gotten to a theoretical exact right number there. The problem is cascades and, the game and Scopely, and I can't. What theoretically is correct is not actually what's going to be correct. But I can get real close. Maybe you got a point. That's a good point. I see what you're saying. Okay. Maybe I do a moments video. Why not? I'm missing so much on my 316 Austin. Maybe I'm not. Okay. Oh, it's this gear that does the yellow. Everything else is black. Yeah. This is kind of a big deal, though. I am missing several moments, though. Now, Godfather, that is a really good point, and I expect, I hope, not expect, I hope in the future I'm going to be able to do that with some other members of the community where we can kind of team up and be like, hey, I'm going to give you. So it's the idea of, in math, there's an idea of like, in statistics, there's a theoretical statistic and an experimental statistic, and the over a large data set they should line up, but in a small data set they can't, or they're very often incorrect. It would be fun to team up with somebody and run my theoretical guess and see what the experimental actually is. And I've talked with a couple of members of the community that is kind of willing to help me out with that. I'm not sure if it's ever going to come to a fruition, but man, I hope so. Man, I hope so. It's going to be a lot of fun. And one of them is on boss battle stuff, specifically boss battle damage. No, I don't want to do that. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching the 3-hour mark. This is about an hour longer than what I thought I was going to be doing. Maybe an hour and a half longer. I think I'm going to wind down a little bit here. And unless there's anything super specific. A monster time? And sure, we'll call it a monster. That's exactly what I cracked open. Godfather, I appreciate that. That's kind of the idea. I operate under the. So I was talking to. There's another streamer. He's an unofficial guy. His name's The Beef. Let me see if I can't find him really quick. He is cool as he could be. He's from Haven. Hang tight. Hang tight. I found him. So I was really impressed with this guy. The Beef, like I said, he's from Haven. And his streams are like the chillest streams of all time because he just logs on and he just starts riffing about the game. Going through rosters and straps and medals. And let's be really honest with ourselves. A large part of time, at least a large part of my time playing the game, is just running through roster and straps and talking about rosters and straps and medals and plates and setups and yada yada. Um, but his streams are always so laid back. I really enjoy them. And he's one of the few that I really see doing that. He doesn't stream often, unfortunately, but when he does, it's absolutely, absolutely worth checking out because it's really great time. Very interactive with chat. Like it's cool. So I've kind of wanted to also bring that vibe. Also because I'm streaming it like I don't know, it's 1:22 in the morning right now, East Coast. So you don't have to get too hard in the paint in late night on a Sunday. There's room for all vibes. Maybe that's what I'm saying. Room for all vibes. Later, Vinny, man. I really appreciate you showing up. Right, Godfather? Like, I don't know. It's cool. It's one of my favorite parts of the game. Just talking about setup and oh, do you think this will work? Maybe this will work. Why don't we try this? Why don't you try this? And then you get in feud and you just run the same setup that you've always used because you know it works. But it's fun to theory craft. You go to bed, Cajun. Good grief. Don't you tell me to do. You're not my mom. What an absolutely perfect song to chill things out and end on, too. It's dope. I'm going to have to figure out my YouTube problem eventually. Sleep is this thing that, like, eventually your body just shuts down. And you don't get to experience anything cool, but you get to Can you hear me? Am I back? OBS just really gave me a weird error message. What was I saying? Godfather, if you can catch a Merrick stream or the Champions Chat guys said today that they are going to be much more involved in their streams on their own personal channel. I know both of them would absolutely run any kind of hypothetical setup that you've got. I would too, but they got the CC accounts. And it doesn't cost them anything to swap things around. Professor actually used to be really good at that. I'm going to miss Professor for sure. But those two channels for sure. And I'm kind of excited. Two Bob will do this as well. He's slowed down on streaming recently. I hope he picks it back up. Two Bob will do it. And Flex seems like the type of guy that will do it also. I'm not too familiar with DJ. I'm just usually when he streams, I'm busy, unfortunately. But it's always worth finding somebody who's got one of those CC accounts and being like, hey, I got this crazy idea. Can you run it? And there's a good chance that most of them will. And if all else fails, find me on Discord, shoot me your idea, and screw it. We'll do it. Worst case scenarios, I'm at a couple of plate swapper currency. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to be it. I appreciate all of y'all's time. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate chat being active as it can be. Thank you for taking time out of your day to come hang out with me and talk about this silly little game that we love to play. As always, if you've learned anything tonight, if you've been entertained by anything tonight, or if you just happen to like the sound of my voice, do me a favor. Find me on YouTube, click like, click subscribe, share to your faction mates, follow me here on Twitch, and I'll talk to you next time.